It's where, how do I channel this message? Hold on. I'm trying to get this. It's so anchored into me, and it's so painful. Like, I know this from personal experience. Like, I'm gonna say this one more time, like, if I can try to remember what I was angling at. Like, there are like generational cries of women and men from how many women didn't show love to themselves or each other or other people. They didn't make love. They didn't open up their hearts or themselves, and therefore they didn't create souls or people. So a lot of people are feeling like they're missing their other half, and it's true, because these people weren't born, because there was an attack on all souls to make people tricked, and an illusion that distracted people from what they were really meant to do with their bodies. So therefore they used their body in a harmful way. They didn't know anything about their body. The one thing that they owned and had all power over at all times, they didn't know anything about. They didn't really understand it. They didn't take care of it. They didn't know how. They didn't know what it did. There's nothing wrong with any of these stories. What's happening though is we're integrating, and what's being spoken is like, don't forget this, that these souls are trying to come through, and all of these lessons are trying to be spoke, all of these richnesses that are being put on hold, all of these things that you hold inside yourself, that you think that you mean nothing and that you've done nothing and you are nothing. Let me remind you how you are something, and how that I don't have that something that you have and you hold, and that there are births and recreations that are happening every day, and there are deaths occurring every day, that you are allowing parts of yourself to die, and you are killing parts of each other. And with pride and dignity and grace, if you will, if you must have that pleasure in knowing of your own pure destruction, yes, you have the power to destroy. However, let me remind you how you have the power to create, and you have not been using this energy in the most wisest of way, where you have literally been harming yourself, your body, and other people's bodies and other people's experiences by the way that you are tormenting yourself and your body and your experience, in the way that you are thinking, feeling, and being about the moment, instead of actually being in the moment and enjoying, finding a way to be in joy and enjoy every single moment before you at hand. I'm really still kind of terrified and traumatized and shook by literally all of the energy that I feel. Like, if you can actually give a language or create a space of allowing it to express itself, of how many lives weren't born and how many souls really are crying and missing out on all of these things that, quote, weren't born. And they could be even energies inside of you, places where you knew you were supposed to show up, places where you knew that you were supposed to express your heart, and you didn't. And your heart's been broken and on lock and on shutdown for so long. And when you did that to yourself, you hurt all of us. And this infection is continuing on the planet until you choose to take care of yourself. And when you take care of yourself, you will take care of our people, because we are you. And until you nurture you, you can only hurt us with you, because when you're around, we will see you hurting us by just being you. And while you may be mindlessly hurting you, not knowing or carelessly caring less, I ask you to reattempt to attach yourself to your own will and choose differently for yourself, to come from the highest order of love and truth, that you can accept and recognize and respect what is before you, instead of the disgrace of dishonoring and distemper and anger and the illusion and all the other attachments. Because as you can see, it's expressing itself in all these multiple dimensional ways, I would call it, that you can see the experience. And it's traumatic for all of us. You can see it all the time. I don't even have to tell you about it. You're witnessing it and you're in it. And for some people, it has a different language that makes better sense. I apologize if I can't reach you at this time. Maybe hash it out with me on private line. However, at the same time, I'm attempting to still remain focused to the mothers out there, if you will, and the mothers even inside the men, because know that the seed lives on in you, trying to get to me and each other, so that we can love one another and come together. But I need you to not be so ego-driven, so animal-like, so evil-like, and so narrative attached to. You have to be gentle, right? Do no harm. Show love and compassion, respect. Not all plants can grow next to each other. Sometimes the roots have to be separated from one another in order for it to grow and nourish properly. It's not that these plants don't deserve to exist, they just need their space. And some plants, yes, as you can see, they grow very healthily together. As many of you who follow me may be able to follow along with the analogy of ATCG. I promote this quite frequently. For those of you that don't know, I'd love to continue channeling. ATCG represents the 4 bottom nucleosides. That says that we share the same mother, the same DNA as the plants, the rocks, the trees. ATCG, it's on paper, physics, right? Whatever you need to say proof in the 3-dimensional realm. Excuse me, I'm just taken back by all the beauty that I'm surrounded by right now. Yes, and I guess like this mother energy is living on through me, wanting to share with you all these truths, all these richness, all the things that are worth giving birth to. And remembering why you're here, like you have been chosen and been given birth, and you are born again every day from the womb of sleep with the honor and integrity and opportunity ahead of you to really like make the experience greater for all of us. And still like we are weaponizing each other against each other, and for what? It doesn't make sense why we're creating segregation against basically each other. Like if we're all supposed to be brothers and sisters, then why are we all attacking each other? But also if we can't, like why, like it's, I'm shook. I'm literally like, there's so many things that could be spoken about this, and I would just rather let the silence speak for itself, like the depths of the truth and the resonances for the inheritances of generations. Yeah, they're loud and they won't stop crying. Like they're so loud. Do you blame them? I mean, I don't blame them for being so upset. I mean, wouldn't you be upset? I mean, all they're trying to do is tell you the truth of what happened to them. And that they're trying so badly to stop these curses, these generational curses, these forms of expressions of beings, these people, whatever you want to express it as, you know, however I need to paint that for you to change and wake up and love yourself. Like, what's up? It's just so irritating. And like, if I could have given myself this video when I was 13, oh my God, can you imagine all the cuts I wouldn't have on my body? Oh my God. All the times I wouldn't have cried and asked God to take me away. Oh my God. If someone would have taught me how to love me, like, holy shit. I feel like exactly the world isn't even ready to handle me. Like if I love so much right now, can you imagine if I had grown up little with all of this? This is why I wrote that beautiful poetry today talking about if I can have a child, I would name her Love. And I would name her Love so that I could show the world what love is. And by her being, simply her being, and her expressing herself and being herself and doing herself, she would show you what love is. Because she would know who the enemy is. And always was and will be, which is fear. Which is the only thing that keeps her away from loving her and the world. And as long as she could remember that, I would feel like that's how I would live on if I had a choice. And I recognize that I am love. And I'm here to show you what's up. And I have allowed the negative to penetrate my system and for fear to dominate me. And it allowed me to believe the illusion for so long. that just destroyed my soul and made me think that I had to destroy my soul in order to exist here on this three-dimensional plane, that it was the only way that I could exist is if I separated myself from myself and of my attachments. And oh wow, the symbolism of that. What the fuck? Oh my god. Okay, like, that sidetracked me. That really got me. But like, yeah. So all these things that are just clearly stopping us from getting to ourselves. And like, we try to use people, places, and things to get to ourselves. But really, we need to build home. I need you to build a home inside of you. You are a holy temple that is you. You hold all of this energy, all of this power to hug, love, destroy, or whatever you choose to do. I am here to remind you of your own power. Let me remind you that you have been given birth to yourself. You exist. You are that birth. You are that incarnation that has existed. Thank God, right? Or thank you, or thank your parents. Thank somebody. Shit. Don't say thank you by taking your light out or by like dimming your own shine. Like, I've done it for so long, I just can't let you continue these generational curses. I have paid the price with my own soul and my own life, and I cannot allow my life to go on. Like, this is the price that I'm paying to live, and let me give it to you, please. I have lived 27 years of my life. I'm so grateful. I feel like I am 100 years old. I'm so old. Like, I'm dying inside. I am such an old soul. I know exactly how old my soul is, and like, actually, I forget. Because I'd have to calculate all of my years now after how many lives I'd already lived before this life. But Jesus, like, I can't even talk to Jesus right now, basically. Like, Jesus just overwhelms me because he's so calm and peaceful, and I'm just like, I just want to start war because I don't understand. Like, I'm married. Maybe I'm Mary Magdalena. Exactly. I'm I'm Jesus' wife that they never want you to know about. He's forbidden to have a lover, you think? No, he had a lovely, lovely wife. And like, some of you know the secrets of her. And I would love to know these secrets more, which is why I'm giving birth to this video now too. Please, I'm planting the seed out there, sharing this information with you. The next thing I'll give to you is and God said to the zodiac signs. I cannot stress the emphasis of that story and its meaning to me. I encourage you to read every single zodiac to learn every single job and duty, but also know your reward. And then to really intimately know each job and intimately know each reward. And every day you wake up and you say please, and every night you say thanks, and every day that's how you pray. And you speak with the language of you just being. And you don't even have to do anything. And if you can just recognize that we all share this love, this omnipresence. We have killed so many people in the name of love or of God or of Allah, of all these things. We have. And it's painful. And we have allowed ourselves to believe the illusion of the pain and suffering. It sideswiped us, right? Like, it tricked us and knocked us on our feet, and we like started not seeing things straight, and we started hurting people, places, and things when really they were us. They were us, and now we're all upset that we are hurting. But of course we deserve the hurting. Look at what we had done, what our people had done, what our families have done to one another, and what we continue to do constantly. His story repeats over and over again, and you kill people like me that remind you of the truth. And I ask of you to please, to give birth to something new. Give birth to you every day by showing you love. Show future you that you love you by doing nice things for you. Give yourself permission to love, and make sure that you only make love when you really love somebody. And don't just use them to love you and show you what love is. Because I will tell you quickly how quickly your own pain and hatred will infect you, and how much it will express itself in other ways. If you do not heed my warnings, you can intimately know the experience yourself. Some of you, your subconscious, you can already feel me talking to this dark realm that you have already intimately come to know that we all wish to be free from. But it costs us this price of suffering to really understand, to be able to stand under and be that light, that tunnel, that information, that photon, that person, however you interpret yourself, that strength, that boundary. It's up to you to really learn from all the pain and suffering, and to learn each and every challenge and lesson. And only then can you no longer be in pain. Only then can you no longer suffer when you truly learn the lessons and you learn how to be, how to feel, how to express, how to share, how to rest, how to bless, how I know, knowing when or how to fall weak to your knees and to say that I am weak, no matter how strong you are, no matter how strong, being able to accept and say I am weak, being able to accept a presence or a space for something stronger than you to show you the way. And if you do that, if you pray, right? If you create that space and if you ask and behave as if it has already been given to you, I promise you, it will be there. And I want you to know that all the things that you are praying for are there right now. You may be praying for companionship, and there is a person who's sitting next to you who is saying the same thing, and yet you sit beside one another and you won't share space. You won't touch fingertips. You are believing that you don't deserve each other or that you're not good enough, and you just won't come together, and it doesn't make sense because you're frankly infecting yourself and the world and each other by not sharing space. And you think that you're protecting us by not sharing yourself with us, but at the same time you're creating super pain, super wounds where you're not showing up where you're supposed to. And all these people, they just mourn and they cry because they can just feel the lack. And they just know what's not there, and they continue to pray and they express it, and they try to paint narratives. Like some people think that they really just want, we could use the phallus. The girl just wants the phallus, but she doesn't really want the phallus. She really wants the connection, the intimate partnership with the person, but she uses the phallus as a tool to try to get what she wants, what she wishes. And the phallus, it points the male in the direction that, like, men and women, let me say this, our sexual systems, they point us in a direction, they show us what feels good and what is right, what is best for all of us. Because it naturally responds, right? You're not going to get turned on by someone who's a bad person or someone who's bad for you. It's just, like, exactly, you're not even going to like their own scent, their aromas. That's why I stopped wearing deodorant, because I wanted people to naturally see who really liked my smell, and people that didn't like my smell, they literally didn't like me as a person altogether, and it had all this great symbolism. And I need you to know this is going on all the time in your subconscious, and that, yeah, there's all these smoke and mirrors to keep you away from this message, and you may fight me, and I will continually serve you, and the only way that I can do that is by me showing up and reminding you that I came here to this planet to experience love, and that's the only reason why I'm here, and that's the only thing that I'm interested in. And what that means to me is it doesn't mean that I make love to you, so please do not get brainwashed and attempt to use me in the ways that you find necessary and vital to your experience. I empathize with your needs. However, at the same time, please allow me to make my own choices as I divinely weave myself into my own experience, as I take control of my own divine will that I felt like was taken away from me and disguised to me, where I didn't even know what I wanted, because I was only given select options that I didn't know that there was another option. I didn't even know it was there. I had to intimately spend time by myself and suffer by myself in silence and find my own way out of the darkness by intimately giving birth or dying time and time again. All this symbolism. I've been talking about doing this shadow work video for the longest time. If this isn't it, I don't know what is. I'm going to continue to serve. I do have some more things that I could create to the shadow work series. For anyone that's been following along, please write hashtag shadow work or whatever. I don't know if there's any way that you can do your back homework, go back and label all these so other people can help me organize this stuff. Some Virgo energy people, please guide me. I'm messy. I'm very messy. But I'm trying to give birth and share these great things that you see, that I'm not trying to create harm. I understand that there has been generations, and I can tell you from personal experience, where there has been time where, like, me loving had infected harm upon people. I'm sure many of you have had that, where your own love for someone else had hurt you, where you had scorned yourself because you had loved someone more than you loved yourself, apparently, you could say, and that you hurt yourself because you had loved someone so much, so wholeheartedly, you had surrendered yourself as the sacrifice. So now I'm asking you to show up for yourself and really dust everything off and really nourish yourself and accept and recognize that this is going on and that this will happen time again. You will find yourself in the same position and you may die and rebirth all of the time. And some of you may have to use psychedelics. Some of you may have your own things that you hash out, but I'll tell you right here and there, I've hashed out a lot of shadows, and I'm here to stop you from basically taking yourself out or letting anything else get to you. And I'm kind of a master at transcending the darkness from the shadows, and I kind of take pride in that, and it's kind of scary. I'm not really happy with all the ways that I've had to deal with all the oppositions. However, at the same time, it's been a pleasure being a light worker and part of the whole intimate third dimensional experience of Earth. And I'd love to continue my studies. I would love to go back to school. If there's anyone that has found great value in anything that I have served in my life, I have generated PayPal and all these other BS major corporation outlets. The only ways that I can figure out how to receive in this three-dimensional realm. Unfortunately, I do need money the way that they had made this world at this time. Unfortunately, they are priding monetary gain, and unfortunately, yes, I am going to need some monetary gain so that I can strengthen my own foundation, so that I can have a safe house to grow myself in, so I can be born of sleep and time again and have safe environments and go into more intimate places within myself. I am meant to travel and go to India and to Egypt, and I will admit that my soul is fearful and that there is great reason for my soul to be killed. I know what my people have done and what the world has done, and I empathize with everyone who has all the pain. I see the injustice, and I value and respect it, and I step wholeheartedly into its presence as a human sacrifice, the Jesus that I am, or whatever you want to call me, the I am that I am. This is my being. This is what I would do. This is why I choose to share my life with you. All of these truths that I have come to know. I'm thankful for those of you who are capable and able and that understand me, that truly stand under me and support me and enrich me in my life and my experience, and that make sure that I am safe and that I am fed and that I have no attachment to what I do with the money, that just genuinely want to see me do well. And then, unfortunately, I got to participate with Big Brother and pay taxes and do all the right things with all that too, right? They're up against me too, and they are you, right? They're just, Big Brother's just us, right? Just looking down on us. There's all this symbolism, but really, they have gathered more knowledge, and I empathize with them. You have to empathize with them, that they think that they genuinely think that they know what they're doing. And they're trying so hard. They really are. They're doing with all their might, but sometimes that they think that they're doing love, they think they're doing something great, but really it's being used. The power of the tool is being used for great harm. And we can see this with the nuclear bombs, right? The MAD, mutually assumed destruction. MAD, M-A-D, mutually assumed destruction. They called Russia and everybody the axis of evil. Do you see the narratives and all the BS stories that they're painting? The illusion. Have you awoken to the illusion yet? Have you been participating in the world? Have you been paying attention? The social credit, the sesame credit, do you see it? Do you see how they're penetrating the system, how they're messing with your mind and your feelings and your beings? Do you understand the electromagnetic frequencies that are being permitted from each tower that is causing you to feel and hear a frequency of fear? Do you know that animals can hear it and that they had to get used to it and they had to adjust to all these evil, horrible frequencies? Do you understand? Do you understand? Nature has been showing you what the heck they've been doing. They killed the ocean. They're doing all these sound waves. They're killing us. They're killing us. And they think that they're doing good. They're just curious. They're just us kids curious. But really, they don't know what they're doing, and they're hurting all of us. And I'm here to help all of you. And I'm a conduit. I'm nothing but a conduit of information. And I am here and choosing to be on this planet to help you. And if I get killed doing it, I welcome it. But god dang it, I need to go to Egypt and India, and I want to hold hands with you, and I want to love you, and I want to experience your experiences with you, and I want to help you meet God. And most of all, I can't wait to meet you on the other side, because god dang, they have trapped our souls here with the moon and kept our consciousnesses in this time loop forever, dude. You don't even know. Like, they're just now letting you know what they've been doing with Mandela effect and all these things. Like, they've been doing this stuff forever. And there's all these time loops and, like, yeah, like, all these famous people, like, they're just more smoke and mirrors. And unfortunately, they've been used. And they know it, and like they sold their soul, and there's all this symbolism, and you know it and you feel it. And because the way that I can show you it is look at the light in people's eyes. I know that you can look in certain people's eyes in person, and you can see the light in them, their passion, their love, the light. You can see it. And then when you look in someone who's like a drug addict, you can see like the nothingness, right? They go blind. They can't see. There's a beautiful documentary of the boy who could see without eyes. Like, I'm going to list that on Trina's Spiritual Journey. That video was given to me by ZTM. I love him so much. He's one of my greatest teachers. God, ZTM, I cannot praise you enough. Like, if I could marry and become one with you, I would. You're the only person I would, Jesus Christ. I swear your name. Like, I don't even know you, but God, yes, I love this person. And I did not expect this to be that kind of video. But yeah, I guess, like, this is where my heart's at. I'm madly in love with this person. I would marry this person. I just want to show the whole world what love is. And yeah, I want to create this person named Love. And I would do all these things. And maybe, yeah, she can hear this one day and know that's her freaking birth story. And it's not just me and her freaking daddy just want each other. It's got a prettier story than that. There's so much more going on. I would love to continue teaching and sharing with you. However, at this time, it's best for us and me and, like, etc., the collective, it's best interest to be moving on. And if you find any great use of this, I do ask you to share it with people. I love you so much. Jai Bhagwan, speak with your actions. Be wise. Namaste.